Welcome to the Mint Julep episode of One Drink, 3 Bars. The Mint Julep is famous for being the official drink of the Kentucky Derby. First, we'll make one at home. Then we'll head to Louisville, Kentucky to try mint juleps at 3 different places. We'll go to Churchill Downs for a tour, bourbon tasting, and a quick mint julep class. Then we'll check out 2 downtown Louisville bars, Jockey Silks and Swizzle. Is the mint julep actually a good drink, or is it just a joke they play on tourists? Stay tuned to find out. Alright, let's make a mint julep. It's a pretty easy drink to make, which is a good thing, because on Kentucky Derby weekend, Churchill Downs makes over 120,000 mint juleps. They use over 60,000 pounds of ice, and they use over 1,000 pounds of freshly harvested mint. Speaking of mint, the first step in making a mint julep is taking a few mint leaves and putting them in your glass. I like mine really minty, so I'm going to put, about 10 of them in here. And then the second step is to put some simple syrup with your mint. And I've made a mint infused simple syrup. You don't have to, but it's another way to make it extra minty. And I'm going to do half an ounce of this. Next step is to gently muddle our mint leaves with that simple syrup. In any muddled mint drink, you don't want to over muddle the mint. You just want to get the oils out of it. You don't want to get the vegetal flavor out of it. So I'm just doing this very gently, and I think that's enough. The next ingredient is 2.5 ounces of bourbon, and I'm using Woodford Reserve. Woodford Reserve is the official bourbon of the Kentucky Derby, but any quality bourbon will work. And another thing to note is that every year for the Kentucky Derby, they come out with a special edition bottle. And it's the same juice that's in this one, but it has some really cool artwork on it, and it's a liter instead of 750 milliliters. So if you have the opportunity to pick one of these up, why not? I'm going to do 2.5 ounces of the Woodford Reserve. And then next I'm going to add a little bit of the pebble ice, but I'm not going to fill it all the way to the top. We'll do that after we stir it. So for this, I like to hold the glass up here so my fingers don't mess up the nice frost we're going to get on this stainless steel mint julep cup. Speaking of mint julep cups, every year at the Kentucky Derby they offer a $1,000 silver-plated mint julep, a limited number of them, and they offer a $2,500 mint julep that comes in a gold-plated cup. There's a different theme every year to both the drink and the cup, and the money goes to charity, which it's a pretty cool thing, but gold and silver plated barware is not in the budget for this channel, so I picked up this Barfly brand julep cup off of Amazon for $12.99. It does the job. Alright. I think that's good. Now that I've stirred it and the cup is really frosted, I'm going to take some more ice and just keep piling it in. You want this to look almost like kind of a snow cone. You want the ice to come up over the top. That's looking good. And then the next step is to put a really big, nice mint bouquet in it. And I usually kind of give mine a couple slaps to release the aromas. You just stick it in there. And put the straw in. And there's the mint julep. That is extra minty and that is extra good. I really think infusing the simple syrup with mint makes a difference if you really want to have a mint forward cocktail. I can't wait to venture out and get some of these in Kentucky. The Kentucky Derby is held each year on the first Saturday of May at Churchill Downs. The Derby kicks off the horse racing season. Even when live racing isn't happening at Churchill Downs, they offer tours, such as the Bourbon and Bridles experience. We participated in the experience in late March in a group of 10 guests. Our tour guide was Kayla, and she did a great job. The tour is $100 per person, and it includes quite a bit. You get admission to the museum, the 360-degree movie, a short tour of the grounds, the whiskey tasting and cocktail class, and a nice gift bag to take home. The museum alone is worth the trip, even if you're like us. We never really gave horse racing a second thought until we visited this place. Some of the displays included past mint julep glasses. They release a new one for each derby, and we received one from 2020 as part of the tour. In 2020, the derby was postponed until September for obvious reasons, but this glass still shows the originally scheduled date in May. Let's check out the class.
The mint in the palm of your hand. You're gonna slap the mint. So once you're done punishing the mint, go ahead and put it in that very final tasting, because you might have noticed, don't sip it yet by the way, you might have noticed that last tasting has a little bit more than everything else has so far. That's because this is our mini mint julep there.
The third step is to add ice and stir. You can add simple syrup if you want it sweeter, but the Old Forester mint julep was already sweet enough.
That is the cocktail that you will get on Derby Day, because you will get the Old Forester mint julep. This has the mint extract in it, and it is pretty well balanced, I would say. It's also 60 proof, so be careful with the mint julep mix. But you can make a mint julep very easily. Simple syrup, fresh mint, Kentucky bourbon, and crushed ice. Now we can, if you want to be really fancy with it, you can like take Barfly makes these hammers and bags where you can make your own crushed ice. Thought that was a little bit too violent today. You already slapped them in, but I think you got your frustrations out quite a bit. But you can if you want to feel really fancy.
The mini mint julep we made was nice and simple. I was a little surprised that they used mint-flavored bourbon. I was surprised it was pretty good. However, at home I will be making mine with fresh mint. Fortunately, I don't have the demands of Derby Day to keep up with. All in all, this was a really enjoyable tour. Afterwards, I noticed they occasionally offer Mint Julep University, which is a class more focused on making the mint julep from scratch. Let's head back to downtown Louisville. Not every experience on this channel can live up to the standard of the Churchill Downs tour. I asked a guy in the Louisville Visitor Center where I should go, and he recommended Jockey Silks, which sounded like a great place to get a mint julep. Apparently, we came in right after what our bartender referred to as a disaster. First stop of the struggle bus, the awful spectacle of a Mary Kay convention in town. Then there was the additional horror of a children's cheerleading convention. But they had some mint-infused syrup. Our frustrated bartender tried his best. He garnished the drink with a sprig of rosemary, because he thought that was all he had. I think they used Old Forester bourbon, which is just fine. And you can't complain too much about a big glass of bourbon. Swizzle is on the 25th floor of the Galt House Hotel. Yep, the same place as Jockey Silks. It has 2 rotating restaurant sections, as well as a great bar that has a very nice happy hour every day from 4:30 to 6:30, even on the weekends. We visited twice, and Nick was behind the bar both times. They had smoked old fashions. They strangely had a variety of tiki drinks on their menu, which Nick said would be changing soon. Most importantly, for this video, they had a marmalade mint julep.
I'm gonna go muddle, I'm gonna go ice, I'm gonna go peach, I'm gonna go bourbon, and then I'm gonna pass it back and forth.
So you gotta script it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because once you're on camera, you don't mess up. Are we going?
Yes, it's rolling.
So do you have to talk, or you just go?
Whatever he wants to do.
You gonna talk over it when you put it on
It depends on how it comes out.
Okay. That's interesting.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And mint juleps is the city drink, basically, right? For the Kentucky Derby.
It is. It's Louisville's drink.
to answer the original question I posed, is the mint julep actually a good drink or is it just a joke on tourists? I think it might be a little bit of both. By the time I got done making this video, I was getting a little bit tired of them. I won't be making myself many more mint juleps for a while, but I'll use some of this fresh mint I grew to garnish my Mai Tais. Oh, speaking of Mai Tais, I have another One Drink 3 Bars episode about the Mai Tai, so if you enjoy this format, consider subscribing and checking that episode out. After seeing my mint julep and the 3 we got in Louisville, which one was your favorite? Let me know in a comment below. Let's do a quick rundown of all 3. The first mint julep that we got at Churchill Downs was part of their Bourbon and Bridles tour. It was a mini mint julep, and it was very similar to what you'd get on Derby Day. I learned that they used the Old Forester bourbon with mint extract already in it to keep up with the demand of Derby Day. If you order a mint julep on any other day, you'll receive one more like what I made, and it includes the collectible glass for $14. Our second mint julep at Jockey Silks wasn't quite up to snuff. I'm gonna cut them some slack because they were just recovering from a huge crowd from a Mary Kay convention and from a children's cheerleading convention. Now maybe the kids aren't so bad, but ooh, the parents. Anyway, I think they'd been slammed, but they tried their best. They made a mint julep with some syrup they'd made ahead of time, and they used Old Forester bourbon. And they didn't think they had any fresh mint, so the guy put a piece of rosemary in it just so there'd be something there. And of course they just had regular ice. Who's really gonna turn their nose up at a big glass of bourbon? And this one was $12, and it was the most expensive out of the 3 I got. Our third mint julep at Swizzle, actually in the same building as Jockey Silks, was by far the best. They used a peach puree along with the traditional mint julep ingredients, and they served it over crushed ice in a stainless steel cup that was kind of like the one I used, but a more modern version. And Nick was really cool. As you saw, he was willing to be on the video. During happy hour, the mint julep is $8, and the regular price is $13. And when I was there, he used Evan Williams bourbon. Again, thanks for watching if you made it this far, and I hope your mint julep on Derby Day is extra minty if you want it that way. Cheers!